See, God already knows these things. See those babies that are being aborted? It's not their time to die. You understand? That's not for us to choose. God has told us here through Solomon that there's a time to be born and there is a time to die. Those of you who may have lost a child and you weren't ready to give birth yet, or maybe you lost a child later and it doesn't seem like the right thing for you. You can't handle it any longer. There's a reason for that. See, God doesn't put bad things on you to put bad things on you. But as bad things happen, God smooths out those roads and He directs you right back to Him. You got to keep this thing in perspective. And as I'm getting into this here in Ecclesiastes, this scripture here, I'm seeing that everything that Jesus talks to us about and everything that the Father points to through Christ was actually right here all along, way back in the Old Testament. But it took Jesus to show us because we got religious. So don't go out there and get religious. Listen to what He's saying. This is Jesus talking to us through Solomon because Jesus created him like He created all things. He says there's a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. You know, how about those farmers out there right now? They said there's a time to plant. It's not supposed to be raining so much right now. We're supposed to be able right now to put stuff in the ground that will be harvested in the fall. I was out at the YMCA at Camp Arrowhead last week, and there's a lot of trees down. The ground's a lot softer than it's supposed to be. There's things going on out there in the land that's not supposed to be. There's a stream that has completely large stream. It's about as wide as these rows of chairs together. And this stream has completely jumped off the track that it was in into a completely different track, and that track is all swampland now. You see, what's going on right now is not the conditions that it's supposed to be, although God has a purpose for what's happening right now as well. And by the way, it didn't happen. We're all still here. So it's not that the earth ended as it was supposed to, according to some fellow a couple of days ago. But all things are intended for His purpose. There's a time to plant and a time to pluck up. Farmers won't be plucking up some of the stuff they're supposed to be plucking up in the fall because they were unable to plant it. It says there's a time to kill and a time to heal. Are we really supposed to kill people? Kill, murder, are they different? I think Jesus makes it perfectly clear when He talks about a personal offense. When you're slapped on one cheek, you turn your face and give the other. You see, He doesn't say that the army shouldn't do what the army does. In fact, when the centurion comes to Him and asks for his servant to be healed, Jesus doesn't go on a tangent and say, tell you what, I'll heal your servant, or I'll heal your son, or I'll heal your daughter, if you'll stop making war. That's not what Christ says. At that moment that the centurion believes, the one who He came to have healed is healed. That's what's going on. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about murder. There's not a time to murder and a time to heal. But there is a time to kill and a time to heal. Let me make a point. Recently, a fellow was killed in Pakistan. It was time to kill. Okay? It was time to make him disappear because he needed to go. David did that. Saul did that. Christ will come back, and there will be a time to kill. There is a time for people to die, and there is a time for folks to make them die. I guess that's as plainly as I can put it. Hating your enemy is a different thing. Hating a person and having that bitterness, that bitterness and being embittered in your heart, whether it's your ex-wife or your ex-husband or Bin Laden. That's what Jesus is talking about, not having in your heart. Whether it's hating your stepfather for what he did to you, or whether it's hating your circumstances. That's what God's talking about. He's talking about being embittered. That should turn you back toward Him in order that you love others.